One day is all it takes to change a fortune. Anyone can be a brand. Everyone is a brand. Each one is unique in their own way. I wanted to know if there is any system at all that will put my hard-earned money into real money. Asking a question from all of you. How many of you want to live a joyful and purposeful life?
Hi everyone. Good evening.
Hello. Good
Hi
evening.
Chinta, hi Satish, how are you doing?
All good.
So, hi Rajat.
This topic is one more interesting topic, which is about people thinking that they have expertise in so many areas, and what will be their niche for the business or for coaching or anything that they're doing in life. And this has been a dilemma for most of us actually when we went through this phase. So we want to address this topic today, right, Sweetna?
Yes,
Rajat?
yes.
Great.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'll just throw open the question to either of you. Whoever wants to take it, you can take it. So the question is, how important is to find your clear niche? Okay, and why do people mostly get stuck with finding their niche?
Okay. First of all, hello to all the viewers who are watching us live or who would be watching later. A happy evening, a happy Sunday to all of you. So coming to your question, Satish. So imagine that you have to go and watch a sunset. So and assume that you take out your car and start driving towards east, right? So you go towards east, you ask them the direction, you go towards north, and again you'll seek some people, okay, how to go towards the sunset region. So you go on changing the directions, right? So until you know what you know that okay, you have to reach the sunset, you have to watch that sunset, but you don't know that clarity of how to go towards that. So it is as important to know your niche, right? It is the clarity of what you know, what exactly you want, but how to go towards that is the clarity. So first of all, Satish, I think knowing to know about your niche, the clarity of what you want is very important.
Yeah.
So knowing in when it comes to business or for personal coaching, or it is for personal career, for anything, so which niche or which is that interests you most is the first and foremost thing which you should be aware. So it shouldn't be that you dive in and then start searching for, okay, it's not interested, so what should I do next? It shouldn't be like that. So why do people actually fail, or why do people get stuck in that position? Is there are many reasons. For me, what I from my observation, what I have narrowed down is there are few things. One is definitely about self doubt. They doubt themselves so much, whether I am capable enough, or whether I've chosen the right thing, whether there is a need for this dish what I'm choosing. So there's a lot of self doubt among the person who is stuck in that situation in confused state. And the second thing is again the lack of clarity. So lack of clarity, when I say I choose, because I myself, when I came into this the entrepreneurial journey, so I was bombarded with so many ideas. I wanted to be in coaching, I wanted to be in schools, I wanted to teach kids, students, and I wanted to teach women, and so many things were there. And it is like so too much of ideas, and no don't know which one to choose, because we feel that I'm good at everything, I'm good at this, I'm good at that, what to choose. That is again lack of clarity, where they don't know what to do, they get stuck, right? The third is again lack of knowledge and skills. For example, if I choose network marketing, I'm not well equipped with that particular skill, or I don't know anything about network marketing, right? Except for whatever we discuss when you are telling about it. I know a little bit of things because of what you share, but I myself don't have that interest to learn, and I don't have any knowledge and skills. And people, when they don't have that knowledge and skills, they'll, okay, fine, let me pack it. Okay, I'm sorry for that.
No, no worries.
Okay. The last the last but not the least, what I feel. Give me 1 second. I'll try to
Sure.
bring it.
Uh, I think Rajat, you want to say something about this point about why people have confusion about which niche? I think you need to unmute yourself, Rajat.
It's a very interesting question, Satish. Very nice question. I mean, how important it is finding your clear niche. Frankly, I feel that it's not important. Not important for a lot of people
Okay.
because, we have been going with the flow. Whatever is happening is happening. We really do not care at times. Only few set of people who really care and want to hold their destiny in their hands. I can tell you, few years ago, I was also going with the flow. I didn't even know what is niche. Like, what do you mean? I mean, I
Okay.
did my schooling, then I did my graduation. After graduation, somebody said do the masters. I did my masters. Then somebody said get a job. I did get a job. Then someone said that okay, get a job which can give a good salary. I joined that. Some people said okay, add some skills into this. I added the skills. So sometimes for some people, go with the flow also works, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like kind of a good luck, maybe I can say. But frankly, I didn't know what is niche. I mean, and I really hardly care about it. And there are a lot of people like that only today, like 95% of the people. And that's okay. I mean, how important it is to find a niche, it is not important. Unless and until you really have very strong ambitions and goals. You want to serve the society. You want to really make a difference in people's lives. So for such people, of course, you're required to begin the end in the mind. I was talking to one of the person, my coachee, my student. I asked, what is your goal? He has a very clear goal. He said that I want to build a sort of a 25-acre land where I need to build a sports fitness for all the obese people out there. I mean, if the people have that sort of a goals, then they backtrack. Then they may require a niche. Then they may require to work upon it. But sadly, a lot of people do not have the goals. How many people do have goals? So before the niche, I would go one step back, which is, do they really have goals? What do you want to become? What do you want to do? If you're going with the flow, sometimes go with the flow also works. I mean, so I think to answer a question, my first thought coming is that for most of the people, it's not important. It's not important at all, is my view. I know I've been contradicting what Chetna has been saying, but what I'm trying to tell here is that my thoughts is like, uh, if you
Yeah.
really want to turn the table by bring out some sort of a unique serving the society mindset and have a bigger vision, then you need to have the niche, you need to have the goals,
Yeah.
they need to work on that. And yeah, I can tell you why do people mostly get stuck with this. Like the second question which you mentioned. I think Chetna, you need to put it on mute, or I don't know, it's coming from my side. Okay, there's disturbance. So Satish, people, because they don't have niche, they don't know about it. They are utterly sad in what they are doing. 92% as per the study also, people who've been doing job are not at all happy, because the people who are in hospitals as doctors wanted to become a musician. Those who are engineers wanted to become a painter. Those who are into some sales profession, they wanted to become writers at the very beginning. But they never knew this is called niche, this is called some of their liking, this is called interest. I remember when I was young, I also wanted to write, and I used to tell my parents, and my parents used to say, are you going to wear that kurta pajama and hold a bag in the side and then go and talk to people? How will you get the money and all? So I think it's natural. It's absolutely natural. So it's very important to find the niche when you want to be happy, when you need to enjoy what you're doing. And if you can make out the money out of it, that's furthermore better. And that's what I think Chetna also keep talking about, the ikigai principle. The ikigai is going to tell you that, okay, what do you really like the most? What the world needs it? Do you have skills in that? Can you make the money out of it? So I
Yeah.
think these are the principles. And I think now the younger generation who's been coming, they're much more educated. They're much more advanced because of the presence of uh, the information democracy which we have, which wasn't there with the internet age and all when we were there in our 80s and 90s or maybe earlier. It's very much different. So I think that's what I would say, that of course it is important to have your niche if you really want to serve the society and have a vision and some goals. And why people mostly get stuck with it and they're really unhappy because they don't know their niche. I know my niche is writing. I love writing. I love reading. My everyday is beautiful. You love network marketing. You got your niche. You have the values of learning, reading, and talking to people, conversing with them, selling your businesses and all. You are utterly happy because of that, because you have identified your niche. Chetna found her niche in podcasting, helping people, finding out their niches. She's really awesome into that. So I think if you really want to be happy, short term, long term, both, I would say it's important. If you don't do it, you will get stuck with it. You will get utterly bored as well. That boredom will as well be there, Satish. That's my thought. What about you? What do you think about it?
Well said, both of you. Well said. So basically, I think you both of you are agreeing with each other. So what Rajat you're saying is that in case someone wants to take it easy, lightly, it's perfectly fine. There are so many options available. Don't worry about which niche you are doing. But if you're looking at contributing something to people, adding value to people's lives, and being good at what you choose to become, then it's important that you have clarity. And then you mentioned some tools about ikigai and all of that, where you find out a method of where is your passion lying, where are you good at, where is it that you can get money, where there's a demand in the market, and what value you can give in terms of tangible service or tangible products. So all of that comes to the same thing. I think what you and Chetna are saying. So I can ask you the next question, Chetna, is that what are the broad categories of niches that one can look at?
So before going to that, I think I would like to speak more about how a person can identify there's a niche. The
Sure.
simple when it comes, because I'm purely speaking with perspective of business. If a person is willing to start their business, how is that one can identify the niche? Like I have a business idea to start with, whether it is in coaching or whether it is in network marketing or it is in finance or something about I've developed a product, a food product, or any sort of things. So first thing is once you have an idea, once you know that this is what is I need to start, check with yourself that whether you actually love doing that, whether you enjoy doing this particular business. So once you know that whether you really enjoy developing the products or creating a lot of software, I mean, it can be anything. It can be a coaching product or it can be your networking. You enjoy networking, doing the network marketing. So you decide that whether you enjoy that particular idea which you're choosing. I'm just using idea instead of niche here. That's it. So identify that. So whether you really enjoy doing that. The second step is like you have to check whether the people are really in need of this, right? What is the problem you're going to solve? If you're teaching network marketing to your team, or if you have if Rajat is teaching authoring to his people, so what is the problem he is solving to them? How is he might be bringing out the message what his students wants to share, right? That is one of the thing which he can look up to. So second important aspect is identify what is that you're solving the problem, your customer's problem. It's very important, because unless and until you don't know if it is not serving your customer, then it's of nothing. It will be a big idea, that's it, right? It wouldn't be a use for your customer. right? You should be, if as an entrepreneur or as a business owner or as a self-employed person, I know that it is not your journey, but what you're doing when you're identifying your niche. It is what is that value you're giving to your customer. So you should be always, your customer should be hero in your journey, right? So the kind of success stories which you have from your customers is what builds your business. So it's very important to know that what is the problem you're solving for your customers. The second thing, so once you know that, okay, this business is going to help my customer to make money or to author a book or to identify the niche or to improve their health, anything. Once you know that, you have to do a serious validation by checking with your customers, maybe a 50 customers or 100 customers. So by whether they are willing to pay for your services or products. So this is very important, because now you know that you have a big idea, you know that you're solving a customer's problem. Then the third important thing when it comes to business is your revenue, or it is whether your customers are ready, willing to pay for you, right? Validation of your niche, validation of your business idea is plays a very important role when it comes to the any sort of business, Satish. It is very important, because we just plunge in because this is the trend in the market, let me start doing that. Whether my skills, my knowledge, my experience matches to it, it's not most of the people don't bother. Okay, money making mission, fine, chalo, dive in. And after 6 months it will be a close shutdown, right? So it's very important to go by to follow these series steps, because you should be interested to doing in what you're doing. You should know whether that adds value to your customers, and you should also know your customer is willing to pay for you, right? So these are the three things. And the last, because validation, as I was telling you, you have to speak with 100 customers minimum to know before you plunge into a big business, that whether you're having 100 customers who say yes, no, okay, they're okay with that, or whatever it is. If you have that database, then you'll know that with this niche what I've chosen, it is going to work. So if it is not working, what is the second choice? You may like two, three things, go to that next, and then start doing the same process. So it plays a very important role when it comes to narrow downing your niche and idea validation, and what is that value you're going to add to your customers. So coming back to your question, Satish, what are the different niches? So niches, as Rajat was just sharing, it can be anything. It can be in the products or services, any sort of any division you take. You have to be. It can be business related, entrepreneurship. It can be coaching. It can be I think to name us, I think your network marketing, authoring. I mean, it can be any division. So narrow downing niche, it entirely depends upon individual interest. It can be a product-based company or it can be a service-based company. So you have to narrow down. Under these, you just see which is your. If you're developing a product, just put your things in under that and follow these three steps. What I told, it will be easy for you to actually identify. It may take time, initial 2 to 3 months, it may take time, but it's worth it. If you do follow these steps, you'll get to know that you are really interested in business, or you're really enjoying your job, right? The people, because I am telling giving this example, because I had the 15 years of experience in the corporate, in the education sector, and just moving just since 2 years back, it's a totally a different journey for me too. So it shouldn't be that it's a 6 months journey or a 1 month journey. If you really do this process in a systematic way, you will really know that whether entrepreneurship is for you, or you really want a stopgap and want to come out of that corporate rat race and want to shift here. Once you shift, you know that, okay, this is not worth it, and then again you will go back to it. So just strictly follow these 2 3 steps to know that whether you are really interested to get into business. So this is what I feel, Satish.
Great, great. Rajat, any inputs on any system or tool that you would suggest for one to arrive at some idea about how to proceed further with niche selection?
Yeah. So absolutely. I think one of the tool is, as I was mentioning it, Ikigai tool, which
Yeah.
Chetna also keep sharing it in her previous sessions too. which is talking about what you're really good at. It's asking questions: what you're really good at, what the world really requires, would the world pay you for that? So these are multiple questions which would come
Yeah.
into the ikigai model that can help you identify that what exactly you are good at and what exactly world requires, and they are willing to pay you for that as well. So that can be one of the tool which can be helpful in identifying what sort of a niche that you have. And as Chetna is saying, it's important to do the validation, the experimentation. You're required to do that. I can tell you my example. And it's important to do the progress. Many times people get stuck into, I don't know what's my niche. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm not ready. Maybe after a year I will get to know. And they just don't act because they don't know what is their niche and all. See, whatever is coming to you, you feel, just experiment it, go to the market and identify and get that information back from market itself. Like I tell you, I've been into mindfulness space. I started as a mindfulness coach, and for a few months I just tried and took a feedback from the professionals, from people who were taking my coaching. I realized more than the mindfulness, considering me being an author as well, people were more interested to get the author coaching. And then I found that author coaching has an element of mindfulness anyway, because writing is a therapy. And then on top of it, I have a 20 plus years of project management experience. And what you require really to make sure that the author coaching works is a kind of a stick at times, that okay, do it, do it, do it. And at times the empathy, thinking from the other person's shoes, which I have been doing it all along. So the combination of this project management 20 years, mindfulness 20 years, writing experience 20 years, blended so well, and my narrow down niche became that writing is a therapy. So if I would have stopped doing it, if I would not have done that validation or experimentation, or would have continued cling to that mindfulness only, I may not have survived till long. I think so far here. I mean, I would have like already lost it and said that okay, let me do something else. And there are many people I also hear, Satish, where they keep changing their niches. Um, Completely different, altogether different, so you need to bring out the flavor of you. Somewhere I got connected to my project management, my mindfulness, and the authoring thing. So it has to be somewhat linked, and you need to keep validating and asking from market that would it really work out well. Just like you do your marketing campaigns, which one would really work. Similarly, initially it's important to do, because it's not easy to find out your niche. I mean, we grown up adults, anyone you talk to, and as I was answering your first question as well, 95% people do not even bother. Why do they require to have a niche? They're going with the flow. So people don't know, and they are utterly unhappy also because they don't know. So yeah, so I think to answer you, uh, Ikigai is one of the model which I know. Other than that, it's not easy to find out your niche. Huh? I mean, you need to work on the person mindset, skill set. There are models like I do use with my students of value determination, personality tests, incidents that have happened in the past, visualization exercises. What do they really require? Ikigai has three or four questions. I ask 40, 50, 100 questions every exercise model, and then the thing really come out from inside. That okay, yeah, this is mine. This is my niche. And then you again experiment, and then you again continue working. And again, there is some filtering happening. So that's how it works, this whole process. Uh, I think most important is identifying what you're good at, and you do that. Then that strategy is there, then it's just a matter of execution. So of course we cannot give this big topic which you have really come out today in like 45 minutes or so. It requires hours and hours, days and days, months and months to really find that niche the person has. And I think it deserves that. It's really required that sort of hours and days and months, I say, Satish.
So yeah, I think just to add on, Rajat, see what I feel is, guys, like once you knowing your niche is one thing, but after knowing what you do with that is very important. If you don't act on it, it will be just a niche. It will be nine. You will think, okay, I'm good at it. Let me learn more about it. Let me study more about it. Only when you go out to the all out to the market and start speaking, is when you start acting is what when you start getting clarity. As Rajat was telling, many of them start with something and they end up doing entirely totally a different thing. So it's not about sticking to what the niche part, because identify first thing what interests you the most, start acting on it, and if it's not working, then move to the next. It's not that okay, it's a destined to you that you have to do this like your lifetime. It's nothing like that. So Satish, I would like to ask you also, like, how did you choose your niche, and did you find any sort of challenge while choosing your niche? I know a bit about your journey, but I would want the viewers to know about that.
Sure. So for me, typically what you said was right. I was looking at what am I good at, for what there is market in the market requirement, and I looked at what would give me satisfaction in terms of delivering that. So for me, first niche that I looked at was branding myself, helping people to brand themselves in the social media. So that was the first niche that I looked at, and subsequently, one thought came to me very, very forcefully. The thought that I want to be focused on business aspect of things, and I would like to look at my coaching as an add-on to that, rather than look at coaching separately. So I was looking at how I can build a business which can create an impact for people, where I can mentor people and help them also grow that business from scratch. And then as an adjunct to that, I wanted to have my coaching business. So when that happened, I got more clarity, and that's where I zeroed on a few things. And in fact, one of the exercises that I did with Rajat, which he helped me to find out my values, and in that session of coaching which I did with Rajat helped me to find out exactly what are the four important values for me in terms of what is it that I'm looking for myself in my life. And that came through Dr. John D. Martini. He's an expert on this, and he's actually, I think, I think 65 years. He's read 30,000 books, and he's got a very, very clear-cut method of helping people determine their values. And thanks to Rajat, I could go through that exercise, and I realized that one is wellness, which is important for me. Wellness and fitness is very close to my heart. Second is business, is very, very close to my heart. I like to do something in business. The third thing is in terms of how to make money and create wealth. So this is the third value system that is close to my heart, because I've been investing and I've been looking at investment options over the last several years, for last 15, 20 years or so. So I believe very strongly that just income generation is not important, wealth creation is important. And for that, everyone needs to educate themselves. And sometimes the best of chartered accountants also don't have any idea about it. I began this journey many years ago, so I'm quite comfortable with that concept as well. And the fourth one is about learning and growing and teaching others. So there are four value systems that I found in my interactions with Rajat. And I think let me see if I can share the screen. I'll just see if I can share my screen, where I will show you the. I'm not sure if I can share the screen. Let me see. Let me try it once. Let me share the screen and see if I can show you something. No, I think I'm not getting that.
No, you're able to. You
I
are
will
able to
just
see.
no, but I think only my screen is coming. No, I think let's see if I show this. Is it coming? No. Fine. So what basically I'm trying to show is Dr. D. Martini's website. So like you can check it up, viewers, listeners. You can listen to this. Go to the website drdmartini.com and /values. We'll just type in the chat box. Okay, we just type it out in the chat box, so you get an idea about what it is. So this gentleman has done thorough research in terms of what are the values that one should live by, how to identify your values, and he's got a series of questions that he subjects you to. They are very, very simple looking questions, but they are very, very deep. And Rajat, helped me to understand that. And you need a little patience. Actually, you need a little time. Not much, about 45 minutes to 1 hour. Go through those series of questions, and that website will give you information about what are your top 4 or 5 value systems that you live by, and you want to carry on with your life. And one of the other important concepts that Dr. D. Martini talks a lot is about not reaching any end goal as a success. He says when someone says, "Are you successful?" or "Is this person successful?" he says that's an absurd question. He says that we are every day working towards becoming a better version of ourselves And once your value systems are clear, what is the values that you go by is clear to you, you're always working towards improving yourself in delivering those values to your audience, to the people that are looking up to you. So it gives you a lot of clarity. That don't worry about whether you're successful or not, whether you label yourself as successful, whether other people label you as successful or not. As long as you're clear about what is it that you're delivering and to whom, you just keep on in the journey of improving, learning, growing, and teaching, and overall impacting so many lives as you go along. So that was a big takeaway for me from that exercise that I did with Rajat. And Dr. Martini is a guru. I think everyone needs to look up his website and check out what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I
Okay. So
think I'll add my two
please,
cents into that.
please,
Satish.
yeah, yeah.
I remember I got a breakthrough as well when I was hearing out Dr. D. Martini's interview with Siddharth Rashekar. So before that interview, I used to have my daily plan, like, I need to cover all my physical, emotional, mental, social, societal, passion, spiritual, all of these sections covered in my day. So if there are one or two activities also in this seven or eight things, it comes out to be 16, 17 items in the 24 hours, in which 8 hours you sleep also. So my day was very stressful. I have not done my physical activity. I have not done my emotional relationship with my parents, my wife. I didn't watch movie. I didn't do this. So it was very stressful. The 17, 18 items, if you need to complete it, as we keep saying, let's be balanced. Let's become a holistic person. It was very stressful. Oh, I haven't done the meditation today. That was a stress. I mean, meditation you do to relieve your stress, right? So because I haven't done, again, I have been getting too much of stress. When I was hearing the interview of Dr. D. Martini and Siddharth Rashekar was asking a question from him, how you are fit? Dr. D. Martini, how are you fit? You're 75 years of age. How are you fit? And you've been doing the coaching trainings of like 16 hours continuous. How are you fit? He had this 4 3 4 values, Satish. He was just continuously speaking that. I like to read, I like to write, I like to research. Sir, but what do you do for your health? I like to
And,
read, I like to
and,
write, I like to
and one,
research.
just one more thing. He also likes to travel. There are four things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like to travel. And then Siddharth is asking, but sir, there must be something you must have been doing for exercising. You are better. I like to read, I like to write, I like to travel, I like to research. I think that was a breakthrough.
Wow.
After that, that balance thing and all just did go for me as well in garbage. I also got to know that 3 or 4 things which I need to do. That's it. That would do the whole thing for me. So rest of this, exercise and all of that thing which you're writing, they will automatically come when you get to know your top 3 or 4 things which you're required to do. More like, related to the current topic of what do you focus on the most, the ikigai, or what do you call it that. So I also really push people to go to that website what Satish is saying. I gave him the website some 10 or 11 times, he did not go through. Then when I did it with him at 45 minutes 1 hour, then he did go through. So I challenge you if you will be able to do it, but yeah, it would be good to do that. It's back to you. Sorry, like I've been hard to you.
No worries, no worries. It's a truth actually. So that was a big eye opener for me. Thanks for that, Rajat. So Chetan, I would like to say something.
I just wanted to say like nothing.
Sure. Perfect. So, any last comments last thoughts about niche clarity, what people can do, what people should look at? Anything you want to say, Chetna? I can go ahead and then next I'll give the stage to Rajat.
Okay, for me, Satish, personally, what I feel and is like niche is one part of your life. Of course, when it comes to business, you should know. But every day, try to be your purest, truest, highest form of your expression. So once you are there with that, I think you can achieve anything. Niche
Yeah.
is just a small thing. So that's it from my side.
Well said. Well said. Rajat.
So what I would say, as I was mentioning it to you, Satish, identify niche is tough. It's not easy. It's worth to find it, explore it. Once you get it, it's a gold. Your life will be awesome, happier, because once you're able to achieve, you got the goal, then you just keep holding it, and your life will be much, much further happier. If you're not able to find yet, keep exploring, keep finding, keep talking to people, take the coachings of the coaches, identify what are your top areas. Do go to the value determination exercise of Dr. D. Martini, take some personality tests, find out what sort of incidents happened in the past, what are the visualizations which you have, what sort of goals, dreams you have, and what incidents have happened in the past which is kind of stopping you. So it's all required, because once you get this goal, once you identified it, I think then it's kind of a sorted thing. You're sorted. Then you only do that few things only. Uh, we sometimes wonder, right, that people who are on top of the ladder, what do they do? I think they're sorted. They know that three or four things only they're required to do. Rest, they just spend most of their time with family. They have all the time. I mean, you look at it. Sometimes I used to wonder, this guy Mukesh Ambani holding so many companies, but is in every IPL match. He's been watching that too. I mean, how come they do have all the time? Because they're sorted. They know that three or four things is what they need to work upon. So they got their niche, they got that gold, and they just continue holding it till the time they didn't find it. They were continue exploring. So it's worth the exploration, I would say, Satish.
Wow. Well said. Well said. I think
What
what
about you, Satish?
Yeah, thanks, Chetna. So basically, I think I agree totally with what Rajat was saying and you were saying, Chetna, initially that it is not important until you want to play it mediocre and want to just be with the flow. But if you're looking at making a thoughtful impact in society and you want to do something in terms of business, then having clarity of niche makes it much more easy because that clarity, gives you a lot of freedom to not feel guilty about things that you can't do or can't do justice to or don't want to do, and also gives you a lot of clarity about what to drop and when to say no, because as we speak, as I talk, there are so many times opportunities keep coming to me like, you're doing this, why don't you do this also, this also, this also. So for me it's very clear that when the niche is clear, whatever activities I'm doing, whether it's book writing, authoring a book, whether it is a podcast, whether it is reading, whether it is teaching others, coaching others, anything else, or anything and everything that I do on a day-to-day basis is towards that niche. And when that clarity comes, it gives you a lot of peace. And also, without feeling guilty, gives you time and chance to spend time on yourself, spend time with the people that you like. I think that's my parting note from my side.
That's really wonderful nuggets from both of you, in fact. And it was nice chatting again. One more Sunday, one more Fortune Talks. Every week on week, it's some wonderful topics. And it's a great insights for me also, because though we have casual talks with each other, but when it comes to certain topics, we are so into it and we try to give our best. And so that it's not only for the viewers, it's also for our internal growth too.
Very true.
So it's a wonderful journey, in fact. Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Chetna. Thanks, Rajat, for this wonderful Sunday Rock Talk. All the very best to all of us and the viewers as
Thank
well.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Welcome.